Hello and welcome to the Peak Endurance podcast. You are joined today on your run, hopefully, by your amazing hosts, Isabel Tate and
Ron Tate, the more amazing one.
You didn't sound very confident in your amazingness, though.
I was trying to build up my amazingness.
Tate.
Trying to build it up build up expectation by delaying and people going,
Who could it be?
Who could it be? Yeah.
Jeez.
Just me.
Yes, just Ron.
Yeah.
Not just. Anyhow, we could just waffle for hours, couldn't we, quite frankly?
Yeah.
And we did say no waffling today. That's what you said.
Well, that's what I said, but because
I said we want a little bit of waffle.
We want to make this a bit quicker.
Because all right, here listen, hear me out. Ron said, "Oh, we don't need to do updates on what happens in our lives, because that makes it go for a bit longer." And I said, people enjoy that. But to be honest, I don't know if people enjoy that. Maybe like talking about ourselves. I don't know. We enjoy it. But could you let us know? And don't just listen and go, huh? Please let us know, because we want to respond to your needs. So if you find it, get rid of it, let us know. If it's no, keep it in, then let us know.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we enjoy talking about what's going on in our life.
Yeah.
We hope
you may not. You might get
listening to it.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
No, that's right. I mean, we're not the most exciting of people, but we just enjoy what we do.
We're definitely not exciting. We are far from exciting, aren't we? Anyway, but I was actually talking about it with a client today. Like life is pretty mundane and boring, really, ultimately, isn't it? And
you're working.
Yeah. And and you could just if you didn't do other things, it would be just get up, go to work, come home, eat, go to bed, get up, go to work, come home, eat, go to bed. So running really gives our lives a focus, and all runners, I'm talking, not just Ron and I, gives us a focus, something to look forward to, something to train for, something to work hard for, something that we can do well at, whatever well means to you. If that just means beating cutoffs, whatever it is, it's something that we can set a goal and actually bloody achieve it. Whereas just being, the rat on the treadmill of work.
Yeah, the goal of getting up and going to work is not a sustainable goal.
No, I mean, if you're in a career you love for the first couple of years, yeah. But even with a career that you're like, I really want to do this and I've studied hard for it, a few years later, you're kind of jack of it.
Yeah.
And running, and it could be anything that you could do. You might be into knitting or bloody skiing or whatever it is, or mountain biking like I used to do. But I really think, running is a great thing for that reason. And ultimately, once again, if you're going to get all existential, running in and of itself is fairly inane, and what's the point, and who cares if you do well at a race? But you could say that about all of life.
I mean, it's not like you're running to save your life.
No, that's right.
Or most times,
or running family,
or feed family, or anything like that.
It's pure
want rather than need.
Yes. So, but that doesn't decrease its value, and in many ways it increases its value, because we don't have to bloody do it, but we do it.
Yep.
And we go through the hard yards and we push through. And I actually think it's important to have something, anything. I think if you don't have anything, then life can become depressing.
That's right. And I mean, they say, if you don't enjoy it, why are you doing it? Well, sometimes it has to be hard. Otherwise you get bored of that too.
Well, and that's what's so boring about life generally, is because it's so comfortable and easy and not hard. Like getting up, going to work, coming home, that's not hard. Sitting on the couch, flicking Netflix, it's not hard, right? Any monkey can do that. Yeah. We're quite adept at it, quite frankly.
Yeah, and we practice it.
Yeah. Well, actually, we're not too bad because we spend too much time running.
Yeah.
But, getting uncomfortable and making your body do hard things is actually really good for you mentally. Like it's really good.
Yeah.
So, it is important. I do have these existential crises sometimes where I just think about life and just think how pointless everything is and why do we do things. But ultimately, you need the little things. And it's like what I spoke to you about over Christmas. It's good to have these rituals to break up the year and to provide life with meaning. The meaning of Christmas and I'm not talking the Christianity or the Santa Claus, because quite frankly, I'm definitely not really into the Santa Claus side of it, because that's just commercialism. But you know, getting together with family and sharing good times and sharing beautiful food, and I think it's important to have these rituals and these parts of life to create meaning and to celebrate and to you know, otherwise, once again, all of life is exactly the same, and it gets, you know, I just think these things are important. Yeah, they're dumb and they're silly and whatever, but you know, I don't know, I think it's important. And so running is important from that perspective too. Let us know your thoughts. Are we just, am I, because it's more me, Ron thinks I'm a bit of a weirdo.
In general, or
Well, in general, but also because of my, you know, obsession with rituals and giving life meaning and all that sort of stuff. I think you're quite happy to just meander through life without thinking about it. So
quite so deeply.
yes, you know,
Yeah.
and perhaps that allows you to be happier with life, maybe, I don't know, because sometimes my deep thinking about life is quite I was going to say
Yeah.
disturbing, but that's wrong.
Not disturbing, but it can be a bit defeating at times.
Yes, you know, and it can make you feel like, what's the point? But
Yeah.
but I also think it helps you to really find meaning in life. And I think finding meaning in life, if that's running or cycling or painting or whatever it is, I think it's really important. This is not what the podcast is about,
No,
Rod. Can you stop distracting me?
This is a running podcast, so we will focus on running
But
as
that
your
is-
main pastime.
This is about running.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about, so we're not really giving an update because, well, here's the update. We've been running.
Yeah, we've been running in the hills lately, pretty much.
And then we've been running, and yeah,
And we did a little bit of running on the side,
yeah.
but
So
we've been focusing on climbing.
getting in the vert, like
Yeah,
we said.
so
last
we
time.
had a big week last week.
Yeah, 5,000 meters climbing in a week.
Yeah, 5,000 meters of climbing. I had one of my bigger kilometer weeks, which tends to be because I was on holidays for the week. So
Yes,
we tend to go out together and spend a bit more time out.
Yeah.
You know, so
And we
did a
spent
couple of
2 days out at Chewton doing
Yep.
navigational practice.
Yep.
So that was good, wasn't it?
It
That
was tough.
It was bloody tough.
It's really hard.
Navigating off trail is
That's right. We didn't, like, as far as kilometers go, we only did like 12 Ks each
we did
day.
12 Ks on the first day, and it took us 5 hours.
5 hours, 12 Ks in 5 hours.
Because we did all off trail.
We didn't hit the trails at all.
Oh my God.
We went straight lining through the bush.
Oh.
Even if there was a trail beside us, we still stayed in the bush,
Because
and
we wanted me to get used to that being off trail. But
and being able to walk in a straight line through the bush is actually quite a challenge.
Yes.
It's not as easy as it seems.
no, it's definitely
Especially through bush where there's lots of undergrowth and rocks and trees
spider
and
webs.
spiders. So many
Big,
spiders.
nasty. They were like crochet. Yeah.
So it's not as easy as it sounds. And what was it? 600 meters of climbing in
Yeah,
12K.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Which,
you know,
considering I think of Chewton as flat.
yeah, no, it's definitely not. But
Yeah.
not big hills, just constant hills.
Up
just
and down,
yeah,
up and down,
constantly
up and down. Yep. And then the next day we did about 12 Ks as well, but we stuck more to the trail, so that took us
Yeah.
about 3 hours.
3 hours for that, for
Yeah.
this same distance.
Because of course you still have to go off trail to
Yeah.
find the controls, and yeah. And
but,
anyway,
but we navigated between the controls via the trails,
yes.
and then
We'd go
navigate
in
from
and
a
on.
certain point, we'd navigate into the control,
yeah,
and then back out again, and then along the trails to the next one,
yeah.
which is a much faster way of doing it.
And to be honest, much more fun.
Much more enjoyable, yeah.
Yeah, it
it's
was
much more
It
enjoyable.
was a bit of we sat down on a log on the first day, and I'm like, oh, I'm over this. And Ron's like, oh, who'd want to be anywhere else? And I'm like sticking my hand up going, me, I'd rather be freaking anywhere else.
It was very tranquil though, because we were in the middle of the bush, and
Yes.
you know, we could have been we were miles from anything and anyone.
But like there was you couldn't see a road, a
Yeah.
trail. We were right
We
there.
were just sitting on a random log in the middle of nowhere, you know, contemplating our choices.
Yeah.
Some good, some not so good.
Yeah.
But we were doing it.
Yeah. So, you know, it was a bit of fun anyway,
Yeah.
but it was good to get back to the car. We camped at Chewton the
Yeah.
night. It was good to get back. Got woken up early by a couple arguing. Ooh.
Jeez, were
No,
they arguing?
we couldn't even see their cars, but geez, we could
Jeez,
hear
they
the
were arguing
voices.
loudly. whatever it was, they were pretty heated about it.
Yeah. So, yes. Anyway, so that was that. And then, anyway, so what we wanted to talk about was motivation. And the reason I decided to bring this up is, after, the Christmas and the betwixtmas time of year, between Christmas and New Year, and that everyone kind of doesn't do stuff and no one's working, but it's a really weird time of year, isn't it? And a lot of people lose motivation. And I've had a couple of clients going, oh, I'm not motivated. And and that's what I'm there for, is to motivate them, not like a drill sergeant. But what I wanted to talk about, which is what I did talk about with them as well, but so I thought it would be good to talk about on the pod, is motivation. Now, to be honest, I'm not motivated every day to run.
No.
Are you?
No. Motivation every day is a pretty hard thing to do. Very few people in this world, would be motivated to run or do whatever it is day in, day out.
Motivation lasts, I reckon, probably 2 days, if that.
Yeah.
Like, you can be, I'm motivated, I'm going to train. And 2 or 3 days, because once again, it becomes.
That's why New Year's resolutions don't work. You can be motivated to them when you tell someone about them, but when you actually have to do them.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. It's another story. So instead of motivation, what I have personally do now is I rely on discipline, but the discipline of running pretty much every day comes from the habits I have ingrained in my life. So, I've often spoken about how, because I run in the morning, I have all my running clothes laid out on the floor, next to the bed, not quite, because, against whatever, near enough. And so that when I get up in the morning, I just roll out of bed kind of and just put my running clothes on, and I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear and where are my socks and where's my crop top. It's all there. Everything's there. I just put my clothes on, and then I go into the bathroom, put my hair up, and then I go and make a coffee. Like, I actually do it in order, I even have an order for it. So then I go and make my coffee, and then I sit there, with my coffee for a little bit.
Staring into the bottom of the cup.
Yeah.
That's
Eking,
that's when the discipline comes in.
That's when the discipline comes in, because I'm like, I'm tired. And I know every morning I'm like, when the alarm goes off and I'm tired, and I'm like, I couldn't be bothered, except I think of another word. But I say to myself, I know once I get up, within 20 minutes, I'll be awake. And it doesn't matter if the alarm goes off at 5:10, which it does, or at 6:30. Whenever I wake up, I don't feel like waking up.
Yeah.
Right? So, I just tell myself, I will feel better. I will wake up. It'll be okay. And it always is. But even then, like, at the moment, because I'm not working at school, it is hard to motivate myself to get out the door at a good time. Because, it's like there's no pressing. I don't have to be home in time to get to work, but I still go out early because it's a habit, and I need to keep that habit, because I'm the kind of person, I've created the habits to create the person who gets up early and runs. And over the years, because I've been doing this over 15 years, I've created these habits in my life, and now it's such a part of me. That's just who I am.
Yeah.
Heidi, what are your thoughts on?
Being an afternoon runner, that doesn't work for me.
But you have habits too.
Yes, I do.
Do you always feel like running when you get home from work?
No. Sometimes, I sit, if you're in your office, I go and sit in your office chatting, and, the longer I sit there, the harder it gets.
Yeah, because I've got a nice comfy sitting chair in my office.
Yeah. So, ultimately, what I used to do, I don't do it much anymore.
You did it today.
I did do it today, yes, because I drove to work. Quite often I'll ride my motorbike to work, which makes it hard to run on the way home. But what I used to do, and what I do occasionally now, is I'll take my running gear and stop on the way home from work. Now, if you're a person that as soon as you walk in and you see that comfy couch, and you sit down and then you don't want to get up again, then don't come home.
Yeah, don't.
Stop on the way home from work, pack your gear, get changed. I'm an expert at getting changed in the car now. So yeah, get changed on the way home or get changed at work, in preparation for the drive
I used to
home.
wear my clothes underneath my work
Yeah.
clothes. So you could do that for the
Yep.
girls who maybe are not so
Yeah.
comfortable changing in the car.
Yep.
Just wear them underneath your work clothes, and it's so uncomfortable. You'll feel guilty not running because you've been uncomfortable all day for
Yeah.
nothing otherwise.
Yeah. And then stop on the way home.
Yeah.
Then you can stop it. You can
Yeah.
change it up. You don't have to run the same street every day.
Because to be fair, running from home every day gets boring.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's like, oh, where will I run to today? But
Yeah.
that way you're mixing it up. You can run different places. You can arrange to meet friends. But you also need to, not always rely on other people. Like Ron doesn't run with other people during the week, but I'm sure you could. But don't rely on other people to provide your motivation. Like it's great to have that ability to run with friends, either in the morning or the afternoon. But don't go, oh, I wouldn't run if it wasn't for my friends. Because what happens if they're sick for a week or they're away on holidays? What, you're just not going to train because that's your motivation? No, you need to still at times train alone so that you can do it without that external motivation. Because what we're talking about here is intrinsic motivation, which is inside you. And that's what you need the most.
Mhm.
So what about those days, like when you drive and you park at the trailhead, say, and you just couldn't be asked running? What do you do? Because you could still just drive home.
I don't really. Once I'm there, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I don't have that
Because
issue.
are you the kind of person that just runs once you're there?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Once I'm at that trailhead or at the car park where I've decided to park.
Yeah.
I'm there. I have no trouble getting out of the car and running.
Yeah.
Because I'm there and that's what I'm there for.
Yes.
I'm not looking for distractions to stop.
You don't procrastinate.
I'm not scrolling or drinking or pooing or I'm not doing all those things that are designed to delay getting out
the inevitable.
You're sitting in the car, you've got your gear on, there's no point delaying it anymore, so you just get out of the car. And once you start, once you get that heart rate up and everything changes, then you start to feel good. And
I mean, I ran this morning. I did about 20K, and to be fair, I went out the door and I'm like,
it was raining.
No, it wasn't raining.
It wasn't raining at that stage.
No, and I'm like, I did all my leg swings and everything, and then I just start, and it's uphill to start, so that's kind of shit.
Yeah.
But once I was out there and doing it, I was having a great time. It was. I mean, let's not go too far. It wasn't a party, but like I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Yeah.
Like there was no way I would have wanted to be sitting at home on my butt because I feel worse then.
That's right. And I was the same. I walked out of work and the heat hit me like a wave because it was really
hot,
hot and humid.
Who knew heat would be hot? Sorry, I'm being a dick.
Because it had been raining through the day, but the rain had stopped and the sun was starting to come out. So the ground was still wet.
Yeah.
And it was humid. Yeah. And, I was like, whoa, geez, this is going to be a tough one today. And I got parked the car, got out and started running and the sweat was dripping off me.
Yeah.
But then after a while, you actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
It makes you feel alive when you,
and don't you feel better now because you did it?
Yeah.
And that's what I often find is even if I'm tired, like even yesterday at the gym, we drove to the gym and I said, oh, we were getting out of the car. I'm like, I could not be bothered. I really don't want to do this. And I said to you, but I know I feel better afterwards.
Yeah.
And guess what? I felt better afterwards. And that's just the bloody gym, let alone going for a run.
Yeah. That's right.
So we're not motivated to go to the gym every week. Like honestly,
the gym probably takes a bit more effort.
But we know how valuable it is. And to be fair, the run today took a bit of effort because, oh my God, we did heavy weights yesterday and 20Ks after heavy weights. By the end, when I tried to take my shoes off, my legs were so sore I could barely put my foot up on the step to take my shoe off. God, that was a hard workout yesterday. But once again, it's worth it. It's important, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
No, that's right. And being motivated and getting it done every day means that it gets
Easier.
easier the
Yeah.
next day, then
Yeah.
easier the next day.
Yeah.
You know, if you put it off, if you opt to stay inside, then tomorrow is just going to be harder.
And that's it. That's it. I actually put a reel on it today on socials about the quitting habit, like, going, oh, well, instead of 8K, I'll just do 5, or, oh, I'll just have an extra piece of cake, or, no, I'll skip the run to whatever. These little, like, that individual workout doesn't matter. Dropping from 8K to 5K doesn't matter. Like, you're not going to suddenly lose fitness. Where it matters is mentally.
Mhm.
Because once you give yourself that, I'll just do this, I'll just cut it back to that, I'll just skip this easy run and just do that, it becomes easier and easier to quit and to not do these things. And then race day comes and you've only done half your training.
Yeah.
And you've put on 10 kilos because you were eating the extra cake and the extra beer. And then you're like, oh, shit, well, it's too late now. So, don't self-sabotage. Don't wait for motivation. Don't self-sabotage. Get out there, become the kind of person, develop the habits, and it will take like strong discipline at first, but eventually you just become the person. And
That's right. It's a lot easier if you're doing it every day and staying disciplined.
consistent and disciplined.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to then, when you're not feeling so great, actually switch your mindset and go, I will
Do this regardless.
I'll do this regardless, and I know it'll make me feel better.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're not saying, run through, a bone sticking out of your leg, or,
No.
or, hacking up half a lung because you've got bronchitis or something like that. We're talking about just the CBFs,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And but also don't confuse the CBFs with being sick. Like some people are, oh, maybe I'm coming down with something. I better, be honest with yourself. Like, I just think a little bit of discipline is good in our lives. It's like what we were talking about. Life is too easy and comfortable in this modern age. And our body wants us to have it easy and comfortable because that is survival.
Yeah.
We survive better as a species when things are comfortable and easy.
Especially if you train your body to believe everything should be
comfortable and easy.
And
And it's hard to go against that because it is a survival instinct of humanity. But the actual running, it really improves your life. Like it honestly, just makes everything better, and especially your mental health.
Yeah.
And often when you've got the CBFs, what you need is a mental boost, and that comes with running. And you don't get that quite as much in the gym because running is better because you're either out in nature, even just being outdoors. I know the city isn't nature, but you're going to pass some trees and all that sort of stuff. That sort of stuff is actually,
you get the wind in your face.
yeah, and the sun and or rain, even the rain. It's just good to be outdoors. Whereas the gym's great, but it's really the human body has evolved to need that outdoor time.
Yeah.
And once again, we just don't get enough of that. So don't run on the treadmill unless it's, like, I mean, you ran home. To be fair, I'm not advocating for this, but you did run home in the thunder and lightning last night. I did tell you to put your poles away, though.
I did. Yes, I did. I did.
I took your poles off. You said no poles. He was only running home from the gym. There were no poles.
No, there were no poles. It was a street run. And there were a couple that were kind of close. A couple of lightning flashes where the thunder, rocked the footpath a little bit. But it was, nothing.
It's fine. It's a bit of bloody thunder and
There was
lightning.
nothing too horrendous.
And it was just an easy run. You wouldn't want to do, like, I had a client who was meant to be doing a 3K time trial. I said, no, you're not doing it in that weather because you're not going to get the best out of yourself, right? But for an easy run, absolutely fine. Like, I'm not going to tell people they should do that because your safety is your responsibility. But certainly for us, I personally think it's fine. Like, seriously.
No, I wasn't, too fussed by it.
Yeah.
Actually, it sucks to start running when it's raining, but once I'm running and then it starts to rain, then I'm pretty happy just to keep going. Like, and it wasn't super heavy. It was just consistent. I was pretty wet by the time I got home, but that was just because it was a 10K run with 8Ks of it in the rain. Yeah.
But then you're pretty wet when you got home from today's run.
I was just as wet today after my run, and
that's right. Yeah.
That was all body generated, right?
Yeah. Oh, and the
Right.
humidity.
Yeah.
So, right. So stop relying on motivation. Start creating the habits that will get you out the door and running, because you know it. You're a runner because you love it, right? So, and you know it makes you feel good. So just do it. Just get out the door and do it. Stop waiting for, oh, well, I'm not motivated today. What? You think suddenly magically tomorrow you're going to be motivated? No, you're not.
Motivation doesn't work like that.
It does not work. So, and it's easy to be motivated the night before when you've, had a couple of beers and you're like, yeah, I'm going to crush and run tomorrow. And then in the morning, oh God, those beers. Oh, I don't drink beer. But just, yeah, I just think you need to not even consider motivation as an option for you. Consider habits, discipline, and being the kind of person that just runs.
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts?
No, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's all she cried? All righty. Well, thanks for joining us. We realize that there are lots of podcasts to choose from. So we thank you for choosing us and for choosing to listen to our dulcet tones.
We need to, one thing I've noticed with a lot of podcasts, we need to have a
Catchphrase.
catchphrase to finish with, like, I don't know, keep on running or something like something like that. Do you think we should? Do you think?
Yeah, let's throw it out to the floor. If anyone's got an idea, because that was shit,
Oh.
especially the American accent.
Well, I was just listening to a
Trail Runner Nation, Run Moss,
yeah, Run Moss.
Run Moss. So I think it's something maybe shy.
No, that's worse.
Think of something. Sorry, we make fun of that all the time. Think of something that we could say that maybe is a bit more Australian, but not too Australian, because we don't want to. Anyway, so think of something we should say, and put that in the comments of something, because I don't even really post these on social media anymore. I've gotten so lazy.
Yeah, because what's even Bad Boy Running?
Bad boys.
No, but bye.
That's right.
Yeah, so we need something.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
We need something to
Fuck
finish
you,
with.
buddy. Should we do? No, they've taken it.
Already got it.
Yeah, I think it's something funny but awesome and cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Because we're awesome and cool.
We are.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, let us know. All the good ones have been stolen.
Yeah, I know. You have to come up with a good one though.
Yeah, and we're not creative enough for that. Well, at least I'm not. Are you?
Oh yeah, I am. I've already come up with one.
Keep on running.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Anyway, have a great week, everybody. And thanks for joining us, and see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I've got to press stop. Bye.